Hello, everybody. Hello, so glad to see you all. Thank you so much for being here for another Friday in the Daily Antidote of Song. I'm so glad you're all here, bringing your smiling faces and your joy and your energy and your love to this room. Love is the key word for today. I want to welcome everybody out there on Facebook Live. Thanks for joining us. And I want to say hello to, of course, David Roth coming in from Massachusetts, who's will sing our song today. David, we can't wait to hear your song. Al, hello, nice to see you. Already prepped with your guitar. Hi, Brian, nice to see you today. Glad you're here. And hello, Mabel in Massachusetts with two cinnamon bears. Glad you have joined us. Hello, Jane in the UK. Nice to see you today. And Susan in Ohio, thank you so much for being here. Annette in California, great to see you. Hindi in Toronto, hello. Hello, Becky in British Columbia. Delhi in Maryland. Arlene in California. Hello, Susan. Nice to see you today. And Jan, hello. I think Illinois, but I'm not sure. Hi, Christiana. Nice to see you today, coming in from Maryland. And Janet in Georgia. Bonnie in Idaho. Thomasina in Tivoli. Hello to Kathleen in Albuquerque. Anna in Maine, hello. And Sarah in Texas, hello. Dan in Vienna. Lynn and Cliff in Vermont. Glad to see you guys again. And Carolyn in Idaho, hello. Kathy, hello. I'm not sure if you're new to us today. I don't recognize you, but I'm very glad you're here. And Anne in Maryland, hello. Glad to see you too. And let's see where I was. Gary in Massachusetts. And Julie in Ontario. Jamie in Victoria. Fred from the DC Labor Chorus. Jane in Maryland. And folks still connecting to audio and folks off video. Jane and Sarah. And Lynn, hello. Now connected. Kachina, Tom, Harriet, Susan, Alan. And still more folks connecting, and I'm glad to see all of you here. Let's all take a deep breath, and hello to all the folks who are now entering, Kat and Campbell and whoever else that was that just popped by me. I'm really glad to see you all today. Hello to Martha and Ruth, also just coming in the room, and Steve and Michelle. Hey, everybody's a little late today. Let's all take another breath. Very nice to be in this room with all of you. And I'm super happy to have with us today David Roth. He's been a regular in our room since the beginning of time and always brings magic everywhere he goes. David, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Can you teach us your song? And I'm looking forward to chatting with you about it afterwards.
Hey everybody, it's so great to see you all. And for you people playing along, this song will be in the key of G, but it's lyric centric. I'm a lyric driven songwriter. So I wrote this song called I Stand for Love back several years ago when I was at a conference in Wisconsin. And one of the keynoters was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. from the Kennedy family, but not a politician, rather an environmental activist attorney. And he had just written a book called Crimes Against Nature, detailing how the government at the time in the early 2000s was putting sneaky little loopholes in environmental protection laws that were causing irreversible damage in some cases to our sacred planet. So the next day, I was convening I was sort of the music director there at that conference for many years, and I had this thing called the Instant Angelic Choir, which is a lot like you guys. Anybody wanted to could come and show up for 35 minutes twice during that week and sing at the top of their lungs in no particular key, which is the way I think singing should be done. It's not how it sounds really for me, it's how it feels to the singer, right? So after Kennedy's inspiring speech about protecting the environment, I asked my Instant Angelic Choir members to become songwriters for 5 minutes, and I gave them a generous 5 minutes to write down things that they believe in and stood for. And dag nabbit, I came out with a song myself. It's going to go in the chat. The chorus repeats a couple times, so I'll take you through it the first time. Did I say it's great to be back? I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you, join me. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope resolves. I stand for you. You know our world is in great pain. She needs our loving care again. But there are those who fail to see what we have done and what we need. There is a cost for every act, and now there is no turning back. We burn a bridge, we bang a drum. It's time to rise, the time has come to stand for love, to stand for peace, to stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true, to stand for hope, to stand for you. And if you're thinking it's not urgent, that we've got more time to kill, if I'm not the one who will change things, then for heaven's sake, who will? So I will move, I will climb this mountain one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop until we've made it to the top, where we will stand for love and peace. We'll stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. We'll stand for hope, we'll stand for you, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you.
David Roth, thank you so much. That was entirely beautiful. And I really loved at the end how it changed from we to I, because when it's being done like this, where everyone is singing along with you, the I becomes each one of us who's singing it, to each one of us in the room, which sort of changes. We were a we, and now we're an I, taking responsibility for ourselves to all of the we's in the room. And I just thought that was a really beautiful transition. We stand for hope, and it's just beautiful to think about that, especially right now as there have been some tumultuous comings and goings in the universe, in the news. Yesterday's fiasco right outside of my old office at the Library of Congress didn't even make the front page of the Post today because of all of the stuff that's going on around, or at least the front page of the virtual Post or the online Post. Didn't even have it listed there amongst the many things we all need to be thinking about right now. Obviously, what's going on in Afghanistan is just awful, and Haiti is just in torment, and it's some days it's really hard to stand for hope, and it is really magical that you bring something like that into the room that feels, at least to me, like it soothes anxiety, and it takes us down a notch, and it reminds us to hold all of that hope inside no matter what is going on around us. And how are you feeling today?
Well, I want to make the distinction between mindless optimism and mindful optimism. When optimism is full in the mind, because I'm not a mindless optimist. I believe that if I put good intention in my songs, it's a conscious decision and not just, oh, everything's going to be okay, or sending thoughts and prayers. I think thoughts and prayers are two parts of what I call the holy trinity of positive social change. The third part, and not the least important part by any means, is action, taking action. So thoughts, prayer, and action. And I love singing that song. And pronoun is key, Joe. I like to sing in the first person wherever possible, rather than we all over everybody. I think the only song where the we works better is We Are the World, because I tried that in first person. I am the world. I am the... No, just didn't quite get that one. But we, it's got to be carefully used, because even in like a coffee house in a Unitarian church basement where I could guess that everybody believes the same things. Everybody doesn't, you know. And if I start singing "we," then I'm treading dangerous waters, you know, and not being respectful.
And it's good to acknowledge the we of, for example, this daily antidote. But this we is made up of all these I's who are all actively, I would say, taking care of all of the other people in this room in so many ways, and hopefully, oftentimes taking care of folks outside of this room as well in all of our action steps. And so I do love the way that, at least for me, for I today, it made me think about that importance between this we, especially I think, I don't really think outside of the daily antidote anymore. So I think of us, this we, and then I think of the way me, I am a contributor to it. And I think that's a really good thing for all of us to have been able to sing an I to each of us today. And I hope actually when we sing it again at the end, I'll make sure that everyone's on gallery view then. And when we sing the I, let's look each other in the eyes and sing to each other in this room, the ways that we are each taking responsibility. It's beautiful. I'm really feeling the weight of the world today. And so I'm really glad, David, that you brought us something, but also that you pointed out, you know, that balance between hope and then blind optimism. And I kind of feel like it was in the song a little bit, you know, like the thinking of whether or not we still have time to kill and the taking of actual action steps and the changing of hope to action. I felt like it was all right there.
And aren't these funny colloquial phrases we have in our culture, Joe? Like a phrase like "time to kill." Where did that come from? You know, or "killing two birds." You know, or "falling in love." I have the first song on my first album a billion years ago was called "Rising in Love" instead of "falling in love." You know, that kind of thing.
Nice.
So
Very nice. Well, I don't know where those phrases came from, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of them didn't arise out of Shakespeare, because it seems like so much of what we say that we don't even understand or know that we're saying actually comes out of really, really early Shakespeare, just common phrases we say all the time. But I would suspect that we could Google, for example, "time to kill" and where that came from, and we would come up with at least a clever or interesting answer, if not any kind of like truth or or historical evidence or anything.
is it fair to call William Shakespeare Bill? Can we be on a more informal? Because I took a great songwriting class with Kathy Fink. You know, she was running it out of Maryland a few weeks ago, the Ola Bell Reed Songwriting Weekend, and I signed up as a student because I think there's always more to learn. And she gave us a songwriting prompt, and it was just "Crazy World," and just kind of poured out. Maybe we'll sing that one day. It's a fun sing along, but you know, it has the line "Rosa Parks and Bill Shakespeare," you know, in the interest of economy and the way that words fit together with rhythm. So
I think that's beautiful, actually. And who knows what William or Bill himself would have to say about it. But since he's not here, we get to choose for him. So I think it's beautiful.
okay, fair enough.
So we can't wait to hear that other song and so many songs. So for all of you who are here today and listening out on Facebook Live, David and I were having a great chat before we open the doors about some of his new songs or some of the songs he hasn't sung yet in this room, and how we are going to fit them cleverly into all kinds of really exciting other weeks that we have coming up. We've got a lot we're going to focus on, and we're going to tie a lot of it to actual action steps. And so, David, you're going to be a great part of that. Let's all please show David again how much we appreciate. It's just everything you bring to this room: the thoughtfulness, the zen, the great ideas, the beautiful music, the incredible lyrics. It's just super. Thank you so much for coming and doing this with us today.
You've been a lifeline for me through all this, just to feel connected to this beautiful community. Like I've been here enough times that I'm starting to recognize everybody on the screen, and that's pretty cool.
That's really great, because now that you've said that, you've just talked yourself into being a Daily Antidote host. Let's all give it up for host David Roth, who's going to be helloing all of you at some point within the next couple of months.
I thought you'd never ask.
Oh yeah, no, we have lots of room for hosts, and I think we're going to be really just seeing so much of our community in these upcoming weeks. People are going back to in person, but I'm hearing from the folks who were with us in the earliest months that they miss us. us. So there's that whole in-person thing going on out there, but they're actually thinking of us and craving coming in the room. So I think that's great. That's an us. That's a we.
Well, if any of you are within driving distance of Hyannis, Massachusetts, which is on Cape Cod, about 30 minutes from the bridge leading onto the Cape, I have a live concert tonight in a very safe environment. It's called the Unity Center of Cape Cod, and it's right near Trader Joe's. You could kill two birds? No, you could accomplish two things at the same time. The show is at the Unity on Cape Cod at 7:30 tomorrow night. So if you know anybody out this way, everybody's gonna be wearing masks. There's so safe distance. They've got plexiglass and all kinds of stuff, and we're just being as careful and full of respect as we possibly can be. Not careless, like I think a lot of people got this summer, prematurely. But we're going to tiptoe on baby steps, with an appearance like this tomorrow night.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And is that link on your website, the link to finding the details about it?
Anybody can write me, davidrothmusic@gmail.com. davidrothmusic@gmail.com.
Great, thank you. And davidrothmusic@gmail.com. Can you tell me, I just dropped your link in for the video.
Yeah.
Can you talk
so
about
in all
that?
your spare time, everybody, one of my fans in Wisconsin a few years back asked me for a few family pictures, and the next thing I know, Pat had created an incredible video of I Stand for Love, not just with, people that I know and love, but with people in the global human family, which is who I always sing for. And it's a YouTube thing, so we can't just share the YouTube on this meeting, but you can go to copy that link out of your chat and go check it out. She did just a beautiful job, and there's some incredible images there that really take this song to a different dimension. And I was so touched, and it's been seen thousands of times, and I always love watching it.
Thank you. So I oftentimes try to scan the chat quickly just to see if there's anything from the chat that we want to add into the discussion. And while scanning through the chat, I saw a sentence that said, "Fava beans are huge," which out of context is a very funny thing to find in the chat. However, I scrolled further back and I found from Arlene a favorite Italian phrase, the equivalent of killing two birds with one stone is, and I will only read the translation, hitting two birds with one fava bean. So fava beans are huge.
Still some kind of hitting there. It's sort of like achieving twice as many high aspirations, which doesn't quite roll off the tongue as some of these other ones, but it sort of gets more at the core of what I'd be looking for. I would work with it, as a writer, and I will.
That's great. Thank you, David. So Hoda also has put something beautiful in the chat. She said, "I believe our daily meeting and singing, we, capitalized we, raise the vibration of the world much better than offering our anxiety." So thank you, Hoda. Thank you, Arlene. And thank you to all of you who have great stuff in that chat. And sorry, we can't actually read it all because it looks just like the University of Daily Antidote song at work again. And today we're on emotions and psychological construction. So, all right, David, how would you feel about singing that song for us again? And as far as I'm concerned, we can go right through the whole thing if you're willing.
I'm totally willing. I never get tired. It's a good reminder for me too, in case I forget or the anxiety starts, racing ahead of me and I can't catch up to it with calm, peace, and mindful optimism. So from today's fava bean to you. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you, I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you. Our world is in great pain, she needs our loving care again. But there are those who fail to see what we have done and what we need. There is a cost for every act, and now there is no turning back. We burn a bridge, we bang a drum. It's time to rise, the time has come. To stand for love, to stand for peace, to stand for joy and for release. For what is beautiful and true, to stand for hope, to stand for you. And if you're thinking it's not urgent, that we've got more time to kill, if I am not the one who will change things, then for heaven's sake, so I will move, I will climb this mountain one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop until we've made it to the top, where we will stand for love and peace, we'll stand for joy and for release. For what is beautiful and true, we'll stand for hope, we'll stand for you. For what is beautiful and true, I stand for hope, I stand for you.
David Roth, thank you so much. I think actually we should just take a deep breath and maybe even a few moments just of something. Let's take a pause. Thank you, David. Thank you for bringing us to a beautiful place with a lot of reflective space for thinking about how we're going to go out into this messy world and take some action steps, do something. I would like to thank everybody out there on Facebook Live for joining us today. Hope you can join us tomorrow. We have another great week planned, and we look forward to singing with you every day that you're able to be with us. Ciao for now.